All right, I'll start with Donna. Just kind of give us an update of what you've been doing with Hands On Hartford and, how people can help and get you more funds and get you more stuff so you can give it out.
Sure thing. Two things. Oh, sure thing. Let me talk about two things. The first one that's on our hearts and minds is the increased number of folks coming into the pantry to shop. We are now at over 800 families per month, which is about a 50% increase from pre-COVID. The number is, I think, a little surprising because some of us thought that maybe, things would settle back in, but that has not happened. We continue to see great need or great people asking for help. And we're honored and privileged to be able to provide that help. As folks know, some of the COVID assistance programs have now gone away, and so people are reaching back out again. So we could use, with the summer coming, we could use some donations of food supplies, particularly for children, cereal, pancake mix, peanut butter, jelly, canned fruit. And then, of course, the always popular items of rice and beans and a variety of other things. But folks can go on to our website and see what's needed. They can drop it off directly at Hands On Hartford, or we also will take deliveries. You can go on Amazon and just have it sent directly to the pantry.
HandsOnHartford.org is that website. The address is burnt into my mind over the years. 55 Bartholomew, downtown Hartford. That's where Gather 55 is as well. I've been over there with Donna and Kate a couple of times to have a cup of coffee. And I've been over there a few times just in the last 5 years. And the one thing you won't notice, at as much as I've know about, but you won't notice the number of kids that are in need that come through 55 Bartholomew. Sometimes when you're in those food drive lines or you're passing out food, you'll see the parents, but you'll never see the kids. And a lot of the need based around families is for the adolescents and for the youth. Now that you're saying we're in the summer months, the need is so much more crucial for those kids because they do not have the school lunch that they're provided.
Absolutely.
Kate, talk about that. Just like some of the people that do come in there, these are families, these are struggling families, these are people that want to get out of this situation, but definitely need that stopgap of help from Hands On Hartford.
That's absolutely right. We've got lots of the people who come are families. They're sometimes single parent families, sometimes two people. They're working hard, couple of jobs, oftentimes minimum wage, and it's just never quite enough to cover all the bills. And especially with kids, they really appreciate that we have fresh produce, fresh veggies and fruit. We've got milk and eggs. They want to keep that healthy food on the table for their kids. And yeah, just as you say, school's going to be out in June, and all those kids are getting free breakfast and lunch at school, and now it's up to the parents to provide that. So the need just increases. And at the same time, we have a lot of the groups that do food drives for us kind of take a vacation for the summer. The groups aren't meeting, faith groups, that kind of thing. And so we really see an increased need for food donations and also for financial donations to buy the fresh produce, the milk, the eggs that we have to buy to keep those shelves stocked.
How long before you guys start to panic, meaning 2 weeks of supplies, a month left of supplies?
Are you always panicking?
The line we have is we spend money today that we will get tomorrow. A little bit, right? So it's always based on, it's the model of our nonprofit. I mean, we have some basic support. We know grants and, individual donations, but really we're counting on people continuing to contribute to us. Kate could answer better in terms of, how far out we want to go. But I like to say that really we trust that when people hear the need, and this is why we have a great gratitude for both you, Rob and Ben. When people hear the need, I believe that people want to make a difference in the lives of others. I have never met a person really who has said, oh, there's hungry kids. I don't worry about that.
But let me stop you.
Yeah.
I think people like myself included are naive. You think that you're getting federally funded programs, you're getting state funded programs, and you're not. And so that's, when we first met years ago, I was kind of like, wow. I mean, nobody's really helping you. So that's one of the reasons we wanted to get involved.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, because I do think people have misconceptions about the level of support we get from the federal government. The federal government stopped, Kate, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the federal government stopped supporting pantries in the 1980s. So we got no federal support for that. And so for both our pantry and the Children's Nutritional Backpack Program, we have to raise all that money through grants and individual donations. And that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of conversation. It takes a lot of grant writing. It takes a lot of writing to encourage people to give. But that really is the truth. People, don't get fed, and people who are hungry or dealing with food insecurity really don't get fed from Hands On Hartford without the support of the community. I mean, it really is the community helping the community. So if you yourself have ever experienced the need or know someone who's not known where their next meal is coming from, you know what that's like. And all of us, I think, have that experience in one way or another. We know a store, we know a person, and maybe it's ourselves who've had that. But the way you can help is by donating, by bringing canned goods, because you can be sure when it comes to Hands On Hartford, somebody will use it.
Yep.
And it will make a difference in somebody's life, be they 8 months old or 80 years old.
I love that about you guys. We were talking before we started the interview of how rich this nation is and how many resources we have, and it's just appalling that we can't find the way to divert it to the people who actually need it. And Kate, you were telling me about staffing too, and the wonderful volunteers that you already have over there. But unfortunately, you had somebody just get in an accident and break their jaw, and now they're going to be out of commission. Now you don't know what to do with the front door, and things like that pop up all the time, and that's life. And you guys are just brilliant in how you adapt and change and make it happen. I can't say the website enough. handsonhartford.org, 55 Bartholomew. Just stop by, donate some cereal. PB&J goes a long way. We need a lot of peanut butter there. Any kind of canned food goods, you say pancake mix. But talk about when these children come in and get breakfast and that they haven't had breakfast in a while, what it is for them and the look on their faces.
Yeah, so what's really fun to see in the summertime is families will come in with their children if the kids aren't in school. They'll get their groceries and then they'll go right around to the other side of the building to Gather 55, and we've always got something good on the menu, pancakes or waffles, special whipped cream for the kids who come in, and they just sit down and have a great meal. We've got a great model, which is pay the price if you can afford it, pay $2 if you can't. And we offer people the opportunity to volunteer, but of course, parents with kids are not going to volunteer. They're going to stay with their kids, so that's all good. If they need a free meal, that's awesome, but the kids love it. So we love to see that, and we just really, we're trying to be there for everybody in all the ways that they need it. And we love this community. These are wonderful people, our neighbors. And they all deserve the very best. They all deserve to have their dreams come true the way some of us have had our dreams come true. And we're just there to help them make that happen.
Are you getting more of an influx of migrants and people coming into Connecticut from, the southern borders and things like that? Is that raised, like you said, it's doubled since COVID?
I haven't really seen that. I think it's mostly the folks who are here who have just kind of reached the end of their resources. I think a lot of it is sort of a delayed reaction from COVID. As Donna mentioned, there was special COVID assistance that has now expired, and people are kind of just now getting to the point where it's like, oh yeah, there's no money left in the bank, and it makes it hard to get through the month. So.
And I can only imagine, because as middle-class people are struggling too because of the prices, the supply chain, stuff like that. My brother and I are having this conversation because he deals with Russia and other countries where he's sending over vitamins and supplements and things like that. He's not even allowed to do it anymore because of the war in the Ukraine. I can't imagine here, with the price of food and the price of things like that, how people that are not middle-class make ends meet. It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, but I will tell you, I think if you came into Hands On Hartford and listened to the stories of people who come and shop at the pantry, who have a meal at Gather 55, who are sitting and talking with our staff about how to find resources to help them search for employment, find a place to live, you will hear stories of resilience. I mean, people, as Kate said, people have hopes and dreams, and they do everything to make that happen. The people who come to us, might have gotten laid off from a job that they were counting on to buy food and, pay their rent. People have a medical crisis, and they're caught in a system that, hasn't quite kicked in for workers' comp yet or unemployment. Your child has a medical crisis, and now you can no longer work because you were working, 30 hours a week at a fast food restaurant, but you need to be in the hospital with your child. And people make it happen. They make it happen. It is amazing to me, the stories of resilience that I hear every time I'm at Hands On Hartford. And again, it's just an honor and a privilege for us to be part of that circle for people who are trying to, continue along this way and make a better life for themselves and for their families.
handsonhartford.org. Again, 55 Bartholomew, downtown Hartford. It's a great place to have a cup of coffee. And like Donna says, you can really learn a lot about the community that you are in. You can really make a big difference. You guys got some cool things coming up. We're excited. About a month from now, we got the Travelers Championship. You guys are a part of Birdies for Charity. That's an awesome thing to see Hands On Hartford a part of Birdies for Charity. And then Memorial Day. You guys say you do like dinners on Memorial Day, 4th of July. You need some volunteers for that, just like a Thanksgiving dinner.
Absolutely. We have meals on all the holidays, and they're really fun events. They're real celebrations, lots of great food, and we love to have volunteers come help us with that. It's a great opportunity for families to volunteer, and if anybody wants to find out more about that, volunteering at handsonhartford.org is the email.
And again, you can go to Hands On Hartford no matter who you are. This place is open to the public. If you want a cup of coffee, go in there, stop in. They make a great cappuccino. I've had it several times. But it's open to the public, and it's always friendly. Like, everybody there is happy to see everybody. I get into conversations I never thought I would over there at 55 Bartholomew.
Yes. Yeah, so it's open for breakfast and lunch Monday through Thursday. And then in a really exciting venture that we began last October is our evening dinner service. So Wednesday through Saturday night, the place gets transformed, and we put on beautiful tablecloths, and we do flowers, and we have the nice music in the background, and we are serving a fixed price meal that has been developed and cooked in some cases by local chefs. We worked with Tyler Anderson. Many folks know him of Millwrights and many other very good restaurants. So currently, the food this month, we have several dishes by the two chefs at Zohara's in West Hartford.
Dang!
I know,
Wow.
right? How good is it? I'm going over next week for my dinner. So between 5, make your reservation. The food is superb, as it always is in Hands On Hartford, but we have some menu items from Billy Grant.
Chef Prasad,
Yes.
Emily Mingrone in New Haven. Yeah, it's great.
So
It's fantastic.
come yourself or gather a group of people, make a reservation, and we'd be happy to serve you a nice dinner meal as well. There are lots of really good restaurants in Hartford, and we know that Hands On Hartford and Gather 55 is a great option for folks who want a good meal, a nice relaxing evening, and at the same time, you're supporting the food programs at Hands On Hartford, right? So some of the funds that you will pay for your meal go to help feed people who are hungry and food insecure. So I like to say, when you eat, others eat. That's a great motto. I mean, my last name isn't a vowel, so I'm always about the eating, but that to me is the best motto, right? Because you're having dinner with your family, or your family of choice, and then some other family is going to be able to do the same thing because you have eaten. Also, a Gather 55 in the evening. If people want a meal and aren't able to afford it, you can also call up and we can make that happen as well. Right, Kate?
That's absolutely right. We save some seats for folks who can't pay for those fancy dinners too, because everybody gets a special night out.
Well, ladies, God bless you both. I don't know what the community would do without you.
So true.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.